So today's the 50th anniversary of JFK getting shot, assassinated, murdered in cold blood in the streets of Dallas, Texas, November 22nd. So I called my mom and I was talking to her about it because I know where she was, even though I wasn't born yet when Kennedy was shot. Um, she didn't even know my father when Kennedy was shot, but I know where she was because, I grew up with this idea that the Kennedys were actually like related to me almost. Like I knew more about the Kennedys than I know about my actual blood relatives. Oh, poor Rose. That's what she would say. Like we were related. Um, but I also grew up with this idea because I was born in '71 that if you were a man and you said good things like we should get along or we should take care of each other or we should have hope or we should be nonviolent, like the world would shoot you. The world would shoot you. You would be assassinated because I grew up with the echoes of JFK, Bobby, Malcolm, and King getting shot. So and then John Lennon got shot right when I was like really starting to put everything together. Whoop, John Lennon. All you need is love. Give peace a chance. Woo, yeah. Um, so I grew up with this idea that if you were a man and you said good things, that somebody would shoot you, and they may never find out actually who did it. Like it would be a conspiracy. They weren't sure. Nobody was going to really look and check to see who killed you in the street, who shot you in the head, in the face, even if you're the president. If you say, let's all get along, don't. And the other message I got was that women just don't. I mean, who was what in the '70s? Like, were there any women? Anita Bryant, maybe Jane Fonda, who was doing stuff like Barbarella at the time, like maybe Gloria Steinem, but I don't remember hearing them like I've heard the guys. Like my perception of reality was that if you were a man and you said good things, somebody would kill you and we would never find out who it was because no one actually cared because you said good things and they were going to kill you. And women didn't speak at all. Like there were no orators like there were male orators. So I grew up with these certain perceptions in my head, and every time there's like, I don't know, when Obama came on the scene, he was so articulate and saying such great things. I was positive. I was like, they're gonna shoot him, like, and then I realized like, oh, he's like a corporate puppet. Like they're not gonna shoot him. He's working for him. Oh my God. They figured out they don't have to shoot these guys, they just have to pay them. It's like Berkeley. Berkeley was causing a whole bunch of trouble. The school, UC Berkeley, they were causing all kinds of trouble. Stanford, those students, they were so smart, they saw right past all the BS. You know what they did? They said, oh, the neocons were like, oh, we'll just pay them. We'll get the smartest students, and instead of them trying to dismantle our evil plans, we'll just pay them to execute the evil plans, and then they won't protest us. And you know what? It works. It works. If you pay them, they will actually do your evil bidding. So that's the trajectory of what I've seen in my life is, great men who said things were, good things were shot, and we're still arguing about, who shot Kennedy because the assassination is ridiculous. He was clearly shot from two angles, come on. And who did it? We still don't know. People still argue about King, even though it was clearly the FBI. Um, and Malcolm, like, was it the Nation of Islam? We're not really sure. Even though it was at a public venue in front of a whole bunch of people, not so sure. And, well, John Lennon, that one was caught. But who knows? Like, who knows what actually happened? Did the government really do it? Was he another patsy like James Earl Ray? Who knows? And so the other leading into all of this is Mike Vick, who got this is fast forwarding to present time. Mike Vick, who got arrested for dog fighting, for like pitting dogs each other together in a pit to fight each other to the death. Which to me is like, if you can't be trusted around dogs, what are you gonna do to human beings? Like if you are doing that kind of shit with dogs, like you have some like issues that we may not be able to get to the bottom of and resolve. But here's the thing. he actually he got more time in jail than Meserly. And Meserly, for those of you who don't remember, was the guy who and I didn't, I kept hearing, I live in the Bay Area, I live in San Francisco, and I kept hearing all this like, oh, this guy got shot and on BART and blah blah blah. And I've had problems with BART police, and like, I'm a short, busty white woman, and I've had like they've been really nasty to me. So I can imagine them shooting somebody. Absolutely, no problem, no problem. Does that. So I went onto YouTube, which has become sort of the people's news source, and because I kept hearing about it and I wanted to see it. Well, now you can see like a 360-degree angle view, circular rounded view of like this kid getting held down and shot, and he is getting held down and shot. There's no gray area. He doesn't have a weapon. It's not like, oh, he had a Snickers bar, I thought it was a gun. No, 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 no. It's not even that bad. Like, he's being held down by another cop face down on the ground, and he gets shot in the head, and it is brutal. It is like, it's brutal, and you can see it from all kinds of angles. Like, I don't know what this guy was thinking. Like, it was murder. It was straight up murder. Like, there is no way. I just, and I've talked to some people who are like, oh no, that kid had it coming. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, he was pinned to the ground, like face down with a giant cop on his back with his hands behind his back. Like, I'm like, Meserly said he was reaching for a gun, which was like, oh my God. But here's the thing. If you're a cop and you're armed and you pin, I mean, and this is all on video on YouTube, like, and it's like 360 degrees view. So, if you're not sure you can see something, you can see it from a new angle. Oh, look, now there's a new angle. Like, everybody posted that up on the web, and it's just so black and white. But the thing is, you actually get, like, apparently, if you're a cop and you pin someone down and shoot them, and it gets broadcast, everyone knows that you did this. It's everywhere. It's not a secret. You actually will get less time. You will actually serve less time than if you make dogs fight, which to me is like, I don't know. That is just such non-redeemable behavior. I have a dog, and I cannot imagine putting him in any kind of harm's way at all. Like I don't even like it when like homeless guys start barking at him to get him riled up. Like, I get angry. So I can't imagine, like, I'm so protective of him, and I can't imagine the kind of brutal mind, the kind of brutal evil mind that comes up with like pitting dogs against each other, right? And then, but you do get more time for that, which, you should never get out of prison for that. That, to me, like, that should be a lifetime sentence, and possibly the death penalty, because you're just not gonna, like, you're gonna find some other way to do some evil thing. Maybe it'll be chickens, maybe you'll go into cockfighting because, there's less of that. But there's like dogs that get stolen in San Francisco because they actually use little dogs and cats as bait dogs to train the dogs um, to actually teach the bigger dogs, the fighting dogs, to kill, because they don't naturally kill. They have to teach them how to kill. Just like we have to teach 18-year-old boys who sign up for the military how to kill, because people don't naturally want to do that. That's not what our bent is. So we have to actually, break you down and train you into being a killing machine. So it's all the same, it's all the same thing. But um, I think it's interesting, not that Kennedy has anything to do with Mike Vick, but I just think the whole sort of zeitgeist of all of this stuff sort of coming together in my lifetime is, it has been an interesting ride, I have to say. And I'm so glad you're here to join me on this ride. Now everybody raise your hands because we're about to go down again. Whoa! It's a roller coaster.